Swami Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear son Prahlad, all good fortune unto you. For the time being, please go to the place known as Sutala and there enjoy happiness with your grandson and your other relatives and friends." Please repeat this translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear son Prahlad, all good fortune unto you. For the time being, please go to the place known as Sutala and there enjoy happiness with your grandson and your other relatives and friends." Text number 10. Nityam drashtasi mam tatra gadapanim avasthitam maddarshana mahaklada dhvasta karma nibandhanaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead assured Prahlad Maharaj, "You shall be able to see me there in my usual feature with conch shell, disc, club and lotus in my hand. Because of your transcendental bliss due to always personally seeing me, you will have no further bondage to fruitive activities." Please repeat this translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead assured Prahlad Maharaj, "You shall be able to see me there in my usual feature with conch shell, disc, club and lotus in my hand. Because of your transcendental bliss due to always personally seeing me, you will have no further bondage to fruitive activities." Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Karma bandha, the bondage of fruitive activities, entails the repetition of birth and death. One performs fruitive activities in such a way that he creates another body for his next life. As long as one is attached to fruitive activities, he must accept another material body. This repeated acceptance of material bodies is called samsara bandhana. To stop this, a devotee is advised to see the Supreme Lord constantly. The Kanishta Adhikari or neophyte devotee is therefore advised to visit the temple every day and see the form of the Lord regularly. Thus, the neophyte devotee can be freed from the bondage of fruitive activities. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. The Supreme Lord is addressing Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj also is his devotee, as much as Bali Maharaj is also his devotee. He is addressing Prahlad as Vatsa, my dear son. This is an affectionate way of addressing somebody who is very, very dear. Prahlad Maharaj, as a devotee, is very dear to the Lord. Bhaktosi me, priyosi me. In the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna tells Arjuna Because you are my devotee, you are very, very dear to me. So this relationship between the Supreme Lord and his pure devotee is always very intimate. And such intimate relationships are to be found in exchanges between the Lord and his devotee. Prahlad has appeared in that place where the Supreme Lord is performing his Leela, because the Supreme Lord is seated in the heart of every living being and is directing their wandering. Ishwaras sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. The Supreme Lord is directing every living being. So he directs the devotees also according to their desires, according to their necessity. So he has directed Prahlad to appear in that place where the Lord himself is performing his Leela as Vamandev. So in that place Prahlad has appeared, and Prahlad is now being addressed by the Lord. My dear son Prahlad, all good fortune unto you. This good fortune is actually the prerogative of the devotee. Devotees, for them, good fortune is always assured by the Lord. And specifically this good fortune is being described. For the time being, please go to the place known as Sutala. Sutala Loka is specially created by the Lord for the sake of Bali Maharaj. And Bali Maharaj's grandfather is Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad is being addressed as enjoy happiness with your grandson and other relatives and friends. Now generally such enjoyment is not possible for somebody with all their relatives and friends. The nature of this material existence is such that such relationships create so many problems. Whereas in the case of devotees, by the grace of the Supreme Lord, devotees enjoy happiness without any separate endeavor. Further, the Lord is assuring Prahlad Maharaj, you shall be able to see me there in my usual feature with conch shell, disc, club and lotus in my hand. So the Lord is present in his four-handed form with these symbols, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. So even though it is said here, Gada Panim, he is holding the club in his hand, but it is clarified in the translation that the Lord is in his four-handed feature with four symbols in his four hands. This is the cause for transcendental bliss. Simply seeing the Supreme Lord is described here as the cause of transcendental bliss. Just seeing. Such vision of the Supreme Lord is described as darshan. Darshan. Such darshan is the cause for cutting off all bondage to fruitive activities. So it is explained here, Dvasta karma nibandhanaha Mad darshana mahahlada dvasta karma nibandhanaha. The mere sight of the Supreme Lord will result in all the karma bandhana being completely cut off, being vanquished. So Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport, karma bandhana, or the bondage of fruitive activities, entails a repetition of birth and death. What is this karma bandhana? Bondage due to fruitive activities. Fruitive activities means any activity that somebody performs for the sake of getting the fruits and enjoying the result of such activities. But that results in repetition of birth and death. Repetition of birth and death is also called samsara. So this repetition of birth and death is caused by bondage of fruitive activities. Now it is also explained here that one performs fruitive activities in such a way that he creates another body for his next life. The nature of this fruitive activities is such that the very activity results in a reaction. Action results in reaction, and that reaction is experienced as another body which one has to accept in the next life. This next body is forced upon somebody who performs fruitive activities. Tatha dehantara praptihi. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi. Dehantara prapti means getting another body due to this action and reaction of the living entity. As long as one is attached to fruitive activities, he must accept another body. So this accepting another body cannot be avoided as long as one is attached to fruitive activities. That is what results in karma bandhana. So the repeated acceptance of material bodies is called samsara bandhana. This is bondage to this material existence. And to stop this repetition of birth and death, a devotee is advised to see the Supreme Lord constantly. Just having darshan of the Supreme Lord. Here darshan means, or seeing the Supreme Lord means, seeing His transcendental form. That form is described as Archa Vigraha, or the deity incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So neophyte devotees are therefore advised to visit the temple every day and see the form of the Lord regularly. You see, this is especially a instruction for neophyte devotee of Kanishta Adhikari. A Kanishta Adhikari is one who is a beginner in devotional service and who is not fixed up in Krishna consciousness, because of which the devotee is not able to actually properly have darshan of the Supreme Lord. Here it is said, advised to see the Supreme Lord constantly. Constantly having darshan or constantly seeing the Supreme Lord is possible only for one who is fixed up in devotional service. So to become fixed up, what is advised here? Visit the temple every day to see the form of the Lord regularly. Is visiting the temple. Simply by visiting the temple every day, one is able to have darshan, one is able to see the form of the Lord in the temple. And in this way, it is guaranteed that the neophyte devotee can become freed from bondage of all fruitive activities. Simply by visiting the temple and having darshan of the deity. So therefore, this temple visit is especially recommended for those who are neophyte devotees, Kanishta Adhikari. Temple visit is recommended, highly recommended. And in the temple it is described that Lord has incarnated as the Archa Vigraha. Vigraha means form. Archa means the worshipable form of the deity. Deity and idol, these are two words that are used in English. People confuse what is the difference between deity and idol. Idol is an imaginary form that is not a real form. It is an imaginary form that is imagined by the worshipper according to one's own mental concoction. Whereas deity is a real form of the Lord, which is actually the actual factual representation. Factual representation. So deity is generally referred to in the scriptures as Archa Vigraha. Archa means worshipable and Vigraha means form. So worshipable form is the form of the deity. The worshipable form may be in the form of metal or stone or wood. Any of 8 elements, one can actually install a deity, have a deity form installed in any of the 8 elements, wood, stone, metal, etc. But once the Supreme Lord is invited to come and reside in this particular form of the deity, then such a form actually is no longer a statue. Such a form is actually the worshipable deity who actually is fully present for the sake of the devotees. Fully present. So such a deity form is actually worshipable by the devotees, and such worship should not be considered as idol worship. Idol worship means simply imagine some form and offer some so-called worship. But such worship is never meaningful, never fruitful, never going to result in any awakening of devotion. Many times people ask, what is the difference between worshipping a deity and worshipping an idol? So idol worship will never result in any transformation of the heart. There will be no change of heart in idol worship. Whereas in deity worship, the heart is transformed. The heart of the worshipper is transformed. How is it transformed? Actually, the Supreme Lord is seated in the heart of every living being. So He actually purifies the heart of a person who worships His deity form. Krishna accepts such worship. He says this in Bhagavad Gita, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahrutam ashnami. He says, if you offer with love and devotion a leaf or a flower or a fruit or a little water, I accept it. And accept it in what way? Ashnami, I actually eat such an offering. So this verse indicates that the Supreme Lord actually accepts based on the devotee's devotional offering. Bhaktya prayachati. One who offers with devotion, only such devotional offering is accepted. So again the question may arise, how do we know that the offering is made with devotion? What is the proof of offering with devotion? The proof is that the offered food item, the remnants of such offered food item becomes what is called as yajna shishta. It is, shishta means remnants, and they are called remnants of a sacrifice performed to the Supreme Lord. Yajna shishta ashinaha santaha. One who is accustomed to accepting remnants of food offered to the Lord in devotion, such remnants are called yajna shishta. They are also called prasadam. So such prasadam brings about a transformation in the heart of anybody who eats such prasadam. Yajna shishta ashinaha santaha. So such people who accept remnants of food offered to the Lord in devotion, they are called santa, they are called devotees. So devotees are able to experience the transformation of the heart due to eating prasadam. So this prasadam bringing about a change of heart is the proof that such offering is actually accepted by the Lord. So there is a lot of detailed description in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that when somebody offers Krishna some food stuff, then Krishna actually eats such offering and it mixes with the saliva in his mouth. The food actually item mixes with the saliva in the mouth, and such when the saliva is mixed, then it becomes adharamrita of the Supreme Lord Krishna. The nectar of the lips of Krishna is actually available for the devotee as remnants of the foodstuff that is offered. So to this extent, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains that devotees who eat prasadam are actually tasting the nectar of the lips of Krishna. So definitely that will bring about a transformation in terms of the devotee tasting the such nectar, amrita. Ordinarily, food is called anna. But when such food is offered to Krishna and it mixes with the saliva of Krishna, it becomes annamrita. Anna becomes annamrita. It becomes nectarian. And such nectar actually is capable of purifying the heart of the devotee. So this purification of heart is the proof. Anybody who worships a deity, they can experience the change of heart. The change of heart is experienced in terms of the bhakti being awakened within the heart. Such awakening of bhakti is not an ordinary activity. It is not an ordinary thing. Awakening of bhakti is actually the transformation of the heart. That is possible only for somebody who worships with devotion, somebody who offers with devotion. Only then the transformation takes place. Otherwise, there is no transformation of heart. So, there is another verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam where it says that a person's heart is to be considered steel framed if there is no transformation in the heart due to devotional offering being made to the Supreme Lord. In fact, the scriptures say that anybody who chants the holy name with devotion, that brings about a change of heart. Bhakti means change of heart. So this is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 2nd canto, that bhakti means change of heart. So such heart transformation is the proof of bhakti being awakened in the heart of a person who actually makes a devotional offering or worships the deity with devotion, or just bows down before the deity, or just comes in front of the deity and has just darshan with the eyes. Merely having darshan, merely bowing down with folded hands in front of the deity will result in a transformation of the heart. So this is what is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam and the other literature. So we should actually experience the change of heart, by which we can get confirmation that actually the offering that is done with devotion. So I'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.